only Bush, by the way, to publicly back Donald Trump. Commissioner, very good to have you. Thanks for coming.
Good to be with you, Neil.
When you did that and you supported Donald Trump publicly, there was great friction in your family toward Donald Trump, certainly on the part of your dad. And I'm wondering, given the fact that your uncle, the former president, apparently left that blank, didn't vote for Mr. Trump, but did call him and wish him well after the election. So I guess I need an update. Are bygones bygones? The Bush family okay now with Donald Trump, or what?
Absolutely. Neil, this is it's more important than the individual. This is about the future of our country. And you're right. My dad, my uncle, my grandfather have all reached out personally to Donald Trump. They've congratulated him via Twitter to recommend that he continue to follow the guidance of the people that has spoken loudly and clearly from this election. And we will be in supporting him, because if our country succeeds, it'll be because he has succeeded. So that's the gracious thing to do. And politics is it's just a profession. It's not a way of life. And so I think for our family, we want the best for our country, and Donald Trump needs to succeed.
Now, I think I asked you this before when you were last on, whether there was any problems or did you create any controversy in the family when you said, I'm going to support and throw my confidence in Donald Trump.
I didn't create controversy. My family understands my position. I served as Victory Chair. I'm an elected official here in Texas. I stand behind the nominee of the Republican Party. Neil, I put in, as you know, a year for my uncle, or my dad and my uncle over the years.
Sure.
And I have the blood, sweat, and tears to show for it. But you know what? I shared with activists throughout my state of Texas that you got to get back up. You can't let a loss defeat you. You got to stand and prevent Hillary Clinton from becoming president. And that was my analysis. I can't speak to their decision making, but that was my viewpoint in terms of the future of this country and making sure that our state is in a good position as possible.
We don't know what a presidency of Donald Trump is going to be like. We do know it will be very, very different. We do know that his views don't go strictly party lined, and that he might be looking at very big infrastructure spending that probably would make your dad, might make you wince, might make your family wince. Now, he says he'll have ways to pay for that, but that he would be a very different type of Republican, is maybe recrafting the Republican Party into more of a populist party. Way too soon to tell, I know. But does that worry you, or do you welcome it?
I'm a classic conservative, and I'm excited by his proposals in terms of legal, regulatory, and tax reform that's desperately needed, and the fact that he wants to prioritize the repeal of Obamacare. That's important for our state. We've already seen the deleterious effects of the last 8 years of the Obama administration.
But beyond that Obamacare stuff, George, do you worry that Republicans, in their zeal to get rid of it and replace it, that they could leave 20 million people who have health care now sort of, in a twilight zone? What would you recommend?
Not with a competitive system by which we offer small businesses to pool risk, to allow for individuals, whether they be employees or employers, such as the small businesses that I interact with in my position as Texas Land Commissioner, to obtain health care on a cheaper basis. We've already seen in Texas, we're not quite to the level of Kentucky or Tennessee with clearly a 2x in terms of premium increases. But the people of the industrial Midwest spoke to clearly the increase in premiums that small business owners and individuals have witnessed. And so,
but should something be done for those? You're quite right on the premiums, and that was a big issue and contributed, many say, to Donald Trump's election. But you would still be in the risky position of, as you move to this new system, whatever it ultimately is, some people, maybe a lot of people, won't have insurance coverage. How would you cover them?
Well, at the state level, there's been proposals to block grant a lot of Medicaid and Medicare spending in order to allow the states and the counties and municipalities to better distribute capital. But, Neil, I think comes down to the 10th Amendment empowering states and allowing us to assess our own health care plan that can supplement what we already provide to low-income folks in our state. I'm an optimist, Neil. I think that the Trump administration, which I hope will have a few Texans at the table, will allow for us to work on the conservative principles that we've been fighting for in the last 8 years.
Jeb Hensarling was one, rumored one, but what about your uncle or your dad? Would they ever entertain playing a role in the administration?
I don't think that I think it's safe to say that they probably won't play a day-to-day role, but they are probably willing and able to provide the counsel that Mr. Trump would seek if he deems that necessary. But like I said at the outset, we're here to support our new president. We need him to succeed. We want our country to succeed.
George P. Bush, Texas Land Commissioner. Very good seeing you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil.
All right.